we've got a new promo, which means we got to deal with some placements. Beautiful people, what's happening? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. If you could, if you would, it is free to subscribe. That's right, costs you nothing, nada. Today, as you can see on screen, we have FUT Fantasy, brand new promo. I'm not sure where I fall with this promo in general, the storytelling or the narrative behind it. I will say this, if you want me to bring out the prime icon moments tiers video, then you already know how many icons we're dealing with. Bodies on bodies on bodies. Drop a like. Get in that comment section if you'd like to be featured. You can start placing folks or asking questions right here, right now. I will screen capture those in a heartbeat. But I'm not going to hold you up here. Let me know your opinion on the promo, certain players, were these fantasy type of items for you. But without further ado, we're going to hit this tough. Quickly, if you want to treat your ears proper, JLab, make a pickup. Mike will get you that discount shopping tip. Everything's linked down below. Only headphones that I use. These in particular, we're looking at the JLab Play Pro. That's the wave. Actually, these might even be the Studio Pro. Now come on, the seasons are changing. That's spring, summertime vibe. I like that. A little gray for the people. Wham bam, thank you ma'am with the navy. And then the classic black and blue. Back to business, and I will have some movement at the end of the video. Don't go anywhere. Kada. I like him. I support him. I believe in him being official. But a god tier status feels like a reach. An end game, self-explanatory, but this is reserved for a special, unique category of potential profitable players. At least virtual profit. I'm talking about guys that deliver from start to finish. The first three tiers would all fit into weekend league teams. The middies really get debatable. Maybe you could argue a little different for the top tier, but that's my statement. I'm standing by it. I'm not pleading the fifth. We're bold, opinionated, strong-willed. Ooh, I like this item. And I want to push him into the god tier. You got to play him as a center mid. I've got to put that out there. If you think he's going to be a winger or an attacking player for you at that premium, gets a lot more debatable. But this Italian is going to run the midfield. You could tell me if I'm reaching and I'm getting crossed over. Allen Iverson. But I want him in the god as my first impression. I've been impressed. Been going up against this man on the frequent. Camavinga. Oof. Again, and statistically speaking, there are players that look better in the stat room. They're lifting more weight in the gym. That bench press is not lackluster. But if you've used Camavinga this year, even his previous FUT items, there's something special there. The animations, the confidence, the composure, the side to side. There's a certain level of expression and influence that he has over matches. And now he's got proper upgrades to truly make a difference in the midfield. But I will say, you're probably not going to score a bunch of goals with it. That's a healthy disclaimer. And I'm not a dietitian. I'm just happy Eriksen is back to playing football. That was a big question mark with everything that, of course, happened. If we're talking FIFA, top tier is the position that I'm leaning towards. He doesn't really have an argument to go upward or have additional trajectory. Would work well if you're playing narrow with multiple midfielders. He's kind of an in-betweener. He's not terrible defensively, but he's not gifted. So you do have a bit of an unusual box-to-box, and he still doesn't offer you some of that number 10-esque forms of delivery or free flow that would open up the space and give you this dynamic player. So he kind of sits in a unique position. Still has value though. Martins! This Martins FUT item is gross. Some would say he's got a little demon tendency. I don't know if he should be god or top. I understand the debate, the back and forth, the discussion. We have the comment section. I'm pretty intimidated going up against him. The stats are completely authentic. You add in those skill moves. Always had the burner, the wheelhouse, the Viper, Dodge, Viper, a little throwback vehicle for the people. Let's do a Google search. And I don't know if a Dodge Viper still exists. Nope. Discontinued in 2017. Jimenez. I don't like him. Reminds me of Nesta. Still better than Nesta, but very low balance and low agility. In the direction that we're transitioning or transcending in FIFA, you need center backs that recover because there's too many gifted offensive players, and the selection for center backs in particular has deep depth, deep end. We're going swimming and I'm diving 20 feet deep. Also, a side note, I'm a terrible swimmer. I would struggle to save your life. Your boy is getting coasted. Can we just throw up a hashtag organics? It has no relevance to anything that has been said in this video, but I just feel that it's necessary. And Yaki Williams, I don't know that he quite gets the God tier. You kind of need him early, and that original rendition or iteration definitely played a factor and had influence. The 3-star weak foot is a slight upgrade, but it's still not a 4-star. And he will cause problems and wreak havoc and be an issue and a concern. But I feel that you're going to see him more used as a super sub as opposed to being an everyday starter. Goalkeeper! No. Straight to the middies. No debating. Cluster Thanos. I'm putting him in the God, but I really want him in the end game. I've just grown into expecting and also relating to Klosterman. He's been a player that I've used in squads now for multiple years. Traditionally speaking, he fits. He's part of the sweat fest that I bring together with that back line. Come on, Bundesliga. Speaking of Germans, I don't know if we're going to get this into the top. In fact, we're moving down. Middies, not bad, not great. And I don't want to describe players, not with the amount of options that we have that are readily available to us. I can't settle. It's got to go into the middies. Lucas Moura. Oh, disgusting. Absolute foul play everywhere. Brazilian flair, speed demon, speed merchant. This man's Aladdin and he's getting everything out of that marketplace. You're not catching him. I almost want to have him as an endgame player. It's hard for me to believe that we're going to get players that are actually faster, especially if you're looking for a through ball or just an elitist for some of the turning. But my heart might say endgame, but my head says God tier. Nani, I love him. God tier as well. Reminds me of the team of the season version of Nani. Speaking of Serie A, here we are. A new right back. Do I want Zola as a top tier player with the Spaniard or a mid tier? He's again good, but not great. I just don't feel that it's right to have him as a mid tier because he's still going to have value. He's still very usable. You can still introduce him into weekend league teams and not feel as if you have a liability. Marcus Rashford. I don't know that he should have more upgrades, but I have trouble putting him anywhere other than endgame. You're basically looking at an upgraded Cristiano Ronaldo, at least if we're dialing down or really checking out or double checking, discount double checking, even though he's got a heavy price tag. Hefty price tag, not cheap. There is no discount, no coupon, no Groupon. At the time of this being recorded, I think he's 2.5, maybe even a little more expensive off the marketplace. But with 5 traits, bunch of upgrades, great body type, can win everything in the air, can be explosive for the counterattacks, can play alone, can play with company. Kind of underrated with the passing. His physical is good to go. Finesse shots, driven, a little extra oomph. Endgame it is. Jerome, and I really like this player in particular. It's been like that now for multiple FIFAs. Top tier is the final statement. I'd like to argue for him to be in the God tier. I just don't think he's quite at the same caliber as his colleagues, at least if we're looking at FUT Fantasy. The Saint. This man is not someone you wish to see on Sunday unless he's in your starting 11. He can do it all. One-man counters, unlocking space, creative maestro, ingenuity, unexpected, deceptive. You got a jungle in the box, and this guy likes nature. He's just one of those players that will change the way that you play FIFA, and whether it's today, tomorrow, next week, next month, he will still be completely relevant and prepped for squad building success. Results driven. Don't like his price tag, but this is not about value, only about ability on the pitch. Who gives you a better chance of winning consistently? Simon, again, top tier, kind of clear cut for me. Can't really argue for the God tier. I didn't love one of his previous items last year. However, I have been able to relate to multiple promos that he's been involved with or just upgrades. In general, just feels right. The cost free, we like that. I'm gonna co-sign it, top tier. Stones, you're gonna pay a little bit of a upcharge, Premier League tax. Stones has never been my center back. I'm not sure if it's a size situation or a physicality or just losing out on certain key 50-50s. Top tier is still reasonable. It's in a good place. Again, weekend league approved. Tenali. Oh, this is tough. I think he's got to go up. He's got to go up. I wish he was a little bit more agile, but he's still much better, at least for me, than the likes of using even an upgraded Goretzka. Not quite as tall, but you get much better movement. In some regards, reminds me of De Jong throughout some of the past FIFA installments, but without the same level of dribbling. I'm not going to give him that type of responsiveness because when we've dealt with De Jong and some of his previous upgrades or special items, Brilliant. And last but not least, Everton with a big result recently. I don't know if that's going to live on well or not. We've had a season that I'd like to forget. We're not going down. For all of you naysayers thinking relegation, that's not happening. But here we go in the top tier. Let's review. We're starting the bottom and make our way upward. I just don't like Jimenez. Goalkeepers are goalkeepers. It's kind of that simple from a logic perspective. There's not enough being offered for this lovely German to move him up within my tiers. That's where my stance is. Keita, he deserves to be a top tier. Eriksen, I can use him. I can get busy with him. I can appreciate him. Some of you might argue that he goes to the mid, but I can make this happen. Pirlo style. And Yaki's got to be in this zone. I don't know that he does enough to be in the God tier. Really needs to, at least a 4-star. Weak foot. Right back viable. Jerome viable. Simon, more of the same. Some of you will have Stones in the God tier. That's fine. We can agree to disagree. As for that tier in particular, does anyone have movement? Upward or downward? I don't think so. I'm feeling pretty good with my listeroo. Some of y'all might say Martins could move to top, just depending how gifted you are with skills or through balls or left stick dribbling. Nani, I got much love for him, but I don't think that he's earned the position to share the throne with the likes of Rashford and the same. So we'll wrap this up. A lot of times we do have adjustments, but nothing's speaking to me. I'm not getting whispers. Thanks again for watching. Let me know in the comments section, what are your thoughts? Prime icon video moments. Make sure to like this video if you want that ASAP. And I've got some special stuff in the works this week in particular. Link up with me social media at Mike LaBelle. And I have more content coming ASAP.